All right, BarNaturalPrez, talk to the people, man. Let them know it's getting ready to go down.
What's going on, YouTube? You're back with the Prez. That's good money. You already know, out here in Juniper Park today. So today we're going to be bringing you something a little different. It's not going to be a calisthenic routine. Today I'm going to be showing you a full body dumbbell routine for beginners. But just because it's for beginners doesn't mean you can't do this if you're intermediate or advanced too. Remember, dumbbells are going to be a great tool that you guys could utilize that are going to give you more freedom of movement, similar to doing calisthenic and ring exercise, right? Remember, when you're doing barbell or even pull-ups on a fixed bar, you're in a fixed position. Same thing with doing barbell work, bench press, deadlifts, you're fixed. Everything is fixed. With dumbbells, each limb gets to move freely. It's healthier for the joints, and it also makes you work on imbalances. It's a one way to notice an imbalance in a body part, right? Remember, each limb has to move freely. If you're on a bar, everything is fixed. You have to conform to the bar. So, like always, guys, when I'm doing full body routines, I like to start top to bottom and work with blood flow, meaning blood flowing down with gravity. So we're gonna start the routine with shoulder work. Naturally, after you're done with the shoulders, if you were to stop the routine, blood's just gonna start dispersing back down to your body. Remember, guys, when you're training a muscle group, 70% of the total blood volume in your body is rushing to that muscle group. It's the optimal time to feed that muscle nutrients, and as well, that's why you get the pump when you guys are training. Say you guys are doing a chest workout. Why do you think your chest looks so pumped when you're done? Because that's where all the blood is flowing. It's engorging the muscles, making them look bigger for that moment. So typically, like I said, I like to start top to bottom. So shoulders, then chest, then we'll hit back, then we'll hit our legs, top to bottom. That's pretty much gonna work on full body, and then from there, I like to rush the blood back up to more of the core and center of our body as a cool down. That's when we'll hit some arm work and some core work, but you don't need dumbbells to do core work. So, like always, guys, warm up before you get into the routine. I did some band rotations, some pull-aparts. Make sure you're properly warmed up before getting into any routine to avoid injuries. All right, guys. So, I got the 40-pound dumbbells with me today. And again, another benefit of the dumbbells is gonna let you move freely. You're gonna get deeper ranges of motion. For instance, if you had a barbell and you're coming down, barbell's gonna hit your chest. If you're doing chest presses, the barbell's gonna hit your chest, it's gonna be limited. Rows, the barbell can only go so far because it's gonna hit your body. Dumbbells, more freedom, allowing you to get into deeper stretches and deeper ranges of motion. So like I said, starting with shoulders, and we're always gonna do the compound exercises first. So we're gonna be doing standing shoulder presses. With dumbbells, I typically want you guys to pick a weight where you guys could do every exercise working in that hypertrophy rep range. That's a good thing about barbells. Barbells is a better way to focus on maximal strength, working that lower volume rep range 1 to 5. They're easier to load up. Dumbbells, best in my opinion for working more of the hypertrophy, towards more hypertrophy endurance reps, where you're working about that 6 to 12, maybe 12 to 15 rep range. Really gonna help you feel those muscles contract and stretch each rep. So like I said, starting with shoulders, first exercise we're gonna do an overhead press variation. I'm gonna show you two variations that you could do. One's gonna be called an Arnold Press, which is gonna be a little more range of motion and involve an external rotation, and one's just gonna be a standard dumbbell overhead press. Again, both are gonna target the delts primarily, and both are gonna be compound movements. So the harder variation would be the Arnold presses, right, guys? So Arnold presses, you want to start with your palms facing you. Dumbbells are right at the face level. And then again, guys, standing up, everything's harder. You have to use your core now. 1, again, everything's 6 to 10, 6 to 12 rep range. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm gonna cap it at 8. You do not want to go to failure on any exercise. Keep about 2 reps in the tank. I could have hit 2 more reps, but remember, you want to be aiming for about 3 sets of every exercise right now. 3 sets, 6 to 12 reps with no more than a 2-minute break period. Remember, when working on hypertrophy, which is muscle building, you do not need to take longer breaks. The longer break periods, 3 to 5 or even longer, that's when you're doing maximal effort sets. Deadlifting 1 rep maxes, pushing out exercise in that 1 to 5 rep range. When you're working on muscle building, remember, this 6 to 12 rep range is gonna be pumping lactic acid into the muscles. You come down when the set's done, let it disperse a little bit. You don't wanna rest too long, 90 seconds to 2-minute max, then you get back into the sets. And you always want to work up to being able to hit 3 sets of 10 reps before moving on to a heavier weight. So look, these are the 40s right now. I hit 8 reps on set 1. That means the goal for me today is to be hit 2 more sets of 8. Next week, I want to go 3 sets of 10 before I would move up to the 45s. Like I said, I'm going to be showing you 2 different exercises that you could do. So the first variation was called an Arnold Press. Whichever variation you choose, 3 sets, 6 to 12 reps, 90 seconds to 2-minute max break. So the second variation is going to be just a standard dumbbell shoulder press, which is going to remember, Arnold presses, you're starting internally rotated. The weights are in front of you, and then as you press up, you put your shoulders into external rotation. And when you come down, you're coming down, you're getting a little bit deeper of a negative. Now a traditional standard shoulder press with dumbbells from the side, it's going to keep your body in a neutral position. It's slightly externally rotated, and you're going to just be pressing in this angle, which is called the frontal plane. Same thing as if you're doing, remember, look guys, shoulder press, pull-ups, right? It's the same motion, same pattern of movement. That's why you see me very often mixing up shoulders and back in supersets, right? Because we're working the same pattern of movement, just in different muscle groups and different forces. So again, now we're gonna do standard dumbbell shoulder press. Again, whatever variation you choose, you wanna do 3 sets, 6 to 12 reps, working up to that 3 sets of 10, even 3 sets of 12 before you move on to the next weight. Remember guys, you wanna start at 90 degrees. Again, just demonstrating 8 reps. I don't want to fatigue too much. Remember, when standing up, as opposed to doing these, you can do all these exercises seated down, right? If you had a bench, you could do these seated shoulder presses, right? The thing is, when you're seated, you're eliminating the whole lower body. So no longer have to have core engagement. When standing, it's very critical to maintain a braced core, squeezing those glutes. You want to really be grounded into the floor, because remember, when you're pressing that weight overhead, the last thing you want is to arch, right? If you're on a bench and you have a back support, you're not gonna have that risk of leaning over and putting too much stress on the low back. So it's very critical when doing these exercises, pick a load that you can handle and make sure you can maintain that proper posture throughout the whole range of motion and through every repetition. So those are the first 2 exercises for shoulders. Remember, you can choose either one. Now, remember, we're gonna be demonstrating 2 exercises per muscle group. The second exercise I'm going to show you is going to be a front raise. So if I had lighter dumbbells, I would demonstrate to you guys side lateral raises. Remember, these next 2 that I'm showing you for shoulders, these next 2 demonstrations, the side lateral raise in the front, are going to be more of an isolation. The first movement is going to be a compound. Compound movements mean we're using more than one joint and muscle angle, right? So shoulders and elbow joint are being moved. That's a compound movement. So now isolation movement is just movement of one joint angle. We're really just isolating the delts here. Because remember, in the press, besides working the delts, you're still getting some tricep action. Any type of pressing movement, whether you're bench pressing, push-ups, always gonna involve tricep, right? So to demonstrate a front raise, you would take 1 dumbbell, hold it like this, and all you're doing is lifting your arms up by using the delts. So that front raise is going to be an isolation for more of the front delt. And if you guys had lighter dumbbells, or if you had access to just more than 2, so typically if I'm in the gym or at the home gym, right, you're going to have maybe more than 1 pair of dumbbells. So you might have a heavy pair and a light pair. With the light pair, you guys could do side lateral raises, which is going to be more of an isolation for the side delt. But regardless, guys, when you're doing the presses, whether it be the Arnold's or the standing overhead standard dumbbell presses, the entire delt is going to get worked, right? So, first compound move for shoulders is the overhead pressing movement, whether you're doing standard dumbbell shoulder press or Arnold presses. The second is an isolation. You guys could do front raises, side raises, or even if you had lighter weights again, rear delt flies. Remember, rear delts, very important muscle group that should be trained when looking to overall improve your physique, right? Because that's what's gonna really make the shoulders pop out and give you that wide shoulder look, which is gonna help you look like you have that V taper. So you pick the isolation movement that you want according to whatever dumbbells you have. If you got a heavy dumbbell like I have, I'll just do front raises using 2 hands and 1 dumbbell. If I had lighter ones, I do side raises or rear delts. And again, you can mix it up. One day you could do overhead presses and side raises. The next day you could do Arnold presses and rear delts. And the third time you're at the workout, you could do 2 sets of Arnolds, 2 sets of regular presses, and then do side raises for your isolation. You guys can manipulate the routine every session, but keeping the movement pattern similar and consistent each week. So remember, after shoulders, guys, once you're done training the shoulder, what's gonna happen? Blood's naturally gonna start flowing down your body into your chest. So now we're gonna hit chest. Now look, guys, I could have showed you guys this on the bench, but we're gonna make this, we kept it on the floor to show you guys you don't even need a bench to hit chest, right? You guys could do what's called a floor press. So I'm gonna show you guys. Remember, compound movement first, and then the isolation. So real simple, guys. You're gonna come on the floor. You wanna keep your feet bent and a slight arch in your back, right? Slight arch in your back, elbows on the floor just like this, and we're gonna press up. 1, 2, 3. And allowing your elbows to come down, dead stopping is gonna eliminate momentum. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we'll go for 12, 11, 12. And when you bring them down, guys, you bring your elbows back down, just drop the weights, and come up. So again, you wanna hit 3 sets, 6 to 12 reps, working up to that higher rep range for all 3 sets before moving up in weight. Now remember, that was demonstrated on the floor. If I was on a bench, my elbows would not be stopped by the floor, right? So I'd be able to get a deeper stretch in the chest, allowing me to target more muscle fibers in the chest. That's the benefit of dumbbells. But the purpose was to show you only need dumbbells. You don't even need access to a bench to perform a full body workout. But just picture, guys, if you're on a bench, my elbows aren't gonna get stopped, right? It's not hard to imagine. I'll be able to bring my elbows further down, stretching the chest out more, coming up, getting a deeper contraction for each repetition. Both have their purpose. If you guys have access to a bench, mix it up. 1 week do floor presses. Remember, the floor press is gonna be a dead stop. You're gonna dead stop on the floor, and you're gonna be pressing up using all those type 2 powerful explosive muscle fibers. On the bench, if you're on the bench, you keep the repetitions nice and fluid, really working on that pump. You don't have to come to full lockout. You guys can really work about 90% of the rep range, keep full tension on the muscle. Again, that's the benefit of the dumbbells, more freedom. So the second exercise, like I said, remember, you want to aim 3 sets, 6 to 12 reps, working up to the higher rep range. And I said 2 exercises per muscle group, 1 compound, 1 isolation. So how are we going to do an isolation movement for our chest now? Dumbbell chest flies. And again, I'm going to demonstrate on the floor, but if you're on a bench, you'll be able to get a deeper fly on the floor. Elbows are going to get stopped, but it's the same thing. You're only opening up the shoulder joint. Now remember, compound movements, 2 joint angles are getting movement. For the press, we're moving the elbow and the shoulder joint. For the fly, even though the elbow stays bent, that's the initiation phase. Elbow stays bent, but we're only opening from the shoulder joint and closing by bringing the humerus across. So it's still only 1 joint angle isolation for the chest. Same thing, 3 sets, 6 to 12 rep range. Same thing, guys. You want to bring your feet up, keep them flat to have a slight arch in your lower back. Like this. Keep your shoulders pinched back. And now we're going to do a fly. Come up, out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, guys, you want to aim 3 sets, 6 to 12 reps of both exercises. Now, one thing I've mentioned in the past, some people, let's say, that's the benefit of dumbbells. You gives you a better connection, better mind-muscle connection to the working muscles. But let's just say even so, you guys have a problem connecting to your chest when doing presses. You guys can, in that case, do the flies first. The flies are gonna really prime and stretch out that chest. So if you guys find that it's hard for you to feel your chest working when doing a pressing exercise, start with the fly, do it at a lighter rep rate, do it at a lighter weight, 3 sets, 10 to about 12 to 15 reps with a lighter weight, really trying to pump blood into the muscle. Then when you get to your bench press movement, your chest is gonna be a little fatigued, but it's gonna focus on making you feel that muscle work even more. Grab some water. So remember guys, 2 exercises every muscle group. And when you're hitting full body workouts like this, whether it's dumbbells, barbells, calisthenics, full body routines like this should not be done every day because your body is gonna fatigue. Ideally, you wanna hit a full body routine every other day. 2 exercises per muscle group. If you're doing 3 full body days a week, that means you're allowing yourself to hit every muscle group 3 times each week. And every time, each 2 sets that you're hitting, each 2 exercises that you hit each day, you're gonna be fresh. You're gonna be able to produce maximal effort each time. If you go and just wanna do a chest day, maybe the first 2 exercises are good, but by the 3rd, 4th, 5th exercise that you wanna do, there's gonna be a drop off. You're not gonna be fresh in those, you're gonna be weaker. So keeping the movements as effective, meaning you wanna focus on the strongest and the best type of movements that you can. With dumbbells, that would be pressing and flies. If you were calisthenics, it would be dips and push-ups or weighted dips and straight bar dips. You want to only focus on the ones that are most effective to you. All that extra work, the machines, that's extra work, right? That's not you working. Those are just external ways to get more blood to the muscle without having to fatigue the body. Not necessary. When you're doing full body exercises, 2 muscle groups per 2 exercises per muscle group each workout. Remember, you're going to be hitting 2 for shoulders, 2 for chest, 2 for back, 2 for legs, 2 for arms. So 10 total sets. But if you do that every other day, remember, you don't have to look at your workout as 1 week long. Train Monday, train Wednesday, train Friday, train Sunday, train Tuesday, train Thursday, train Saturday, train Monday, train Wednesday. You just keep cycling on and on and on. And you're gonna hit every muscle group very often. You're gonna get better and better at each exercise that you're practicing. All right, guys, so after chest, we got back. So now, with dumbbells, it's gonna be a little hard to do an isolation movement for back, right? Typically, to isolate your back, you would have to do an isolation movement, meaning only 1 joint angle. You would need cable or a band, because pretty much only is gonna be a straight arm movement for your back. But now I'm gonna show you 2 exercises still. They're gonna be compound. One's gonna be 2 dumbbells at a time, and one's gonna be unilateral. Remember, unilateral exercise, working 1 limb at a time, is gonna help you guys work on imbalances. You guys are gonna always find that 1 limb is gonna be stronger in something than the other. So, first we'll start with the 2 dumbbells together, and we're gonna do a bent over row. So, guys, you wanna grab both dumbbells, head up, chest up, slightly bend the knees. This is a hinging movement. We're hinging down. Remember, as you hinge, you stick the butt back, and you're bringing the torso down. But remember, guys, look at my posture. My shoulders are staying back, my chest is staying up. This is not good. You don't want to round like this. So you always want to start the movement, head up, chest up, hinge down. Maintain that neutral spine, keeping the shoulders pinched back. Let the arms fall naturally to the side, and then we're going to pull the weights back with our elbows. 1, get a nice pause. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember, guys, that is working both limbs together. I'm going to demonstrate a unilateral exercise that you guys could work with dumbbells as well. Whether you have a bench or not, we're not demonstrating with a bench, but I'm sure you guys have seen, you guys could look. If you want to use a bench for this next exercise, Google single arm dumbbell row. 90% of the demonstration that you guys are going to see are going to be supported by a bench or any type of support that you're going to keep your hand on, right? It just gives you a little leverage. Working without that leverage is going to involve more core stability. And typically people do that because, again, if you're hinged over like this, your lower back is active. So typically you don't want to do too many hinging exercises in one workout because it can put a little extra stress on your lower back. But if we're only doing 2 exercises for our back, rowing movements, and that's the only hinging for the day, you'll be fine. Especially if you're not, remember, if you're deadlifting first or squatting first, that's gonna really put a strong demand on the low back. So anything that comes after that would be weaker. But if you keep those movements separate or just after these workouts, everything will be fine. So next, we're gonna demonstrate a single arm variation of this. Remember, now you guys will notice imbalances. I always recommend you guys starting with the weaker limb first and let that dictate the number of reps that you're doing per set. So single arm dumbbell row. 2 ways you guys could do this. Head up, chest up. You guys can keep the dumbbell right at the side and pull it straight up like this, right to the side, keeping it more neutral the whole time, pulling the elbow straight back. Or you guys can do it head up, chest up, hinge over. Now you're gonna start with the dumbbell and the palm facing your body, more in the midline of your body. And now we're gonna roll to the side, getting a little more external rotation of the shoulder blade as well. Back to the front. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And avoid keeping the other hand on the opposite limb, right? You don't want to keep the right hand on your knee. That's why you see me holding my stomach and core bracing. 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so that was the left limb, right? For the right side, I'm gonna demonstrate just keeping it at the side, not coming to the midline. So 10 reps, and you guys, I'm telling you, these single arm rows, or just these dumbbell rows in general, and I really prefer single arm. The reason why I like single arm, let me show you guys. For one, just for instance, look guys, if I'm doing this again, right? Now when I come up, look what I'm doing with my torso. I'm bringing the elbow back, and I'm also leaning my body into the stretch. So it's allowing me an even deeper stretch. Now if I had 2 dumbbells, like we did first, can't get that extra torso rotation to make the stretch deeper because 1 dumbbell wouldn't get that stretch, right? So that's another benefit of the single arm rows. Gets you a slightly deeper contraction because you also get to rotate your torso to go in line with that contraction. So 10 reps on the right arm. Now we're gonna keep it neutral the whole time. Remember guys, always start head up, chest up, hinge down, slightly bend the knees. Make sure the knees stay straight. Don't keep this hand on the knee. Brace your core. 1, 2, 3, and look, 4, I could get deeper. 5, I could get deeper. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps. You guys want to work on both of these variations. Remember, with dumbbells, pretty much all the back movements are going to be horizontal movements. Remember, when you train the back though, you guys want to train vertical and horizontal pulling. Vertical meaning pull-ups, lat pull-downs. If you got dumbbells, very hard to mimic a vertical pull because remember, you're not pulling anything down with dumbbells. So if you guys have dumbbells, only after you're done with these 2 sets of rows, I want you guys to still find a pull-up bar and hit your back, hit your vertical movement for your back, right? Keep that balance. So 2 sets of shoulders, 2 exercises for shoulders, 2 exercises for chest. You guys saw 2 exercises for back, plus the 3rd, go hit your pull-ups, get that vertical pulling motion in too. Remember, blood flow straight after back. Me always, I train legs, and I train legs, like I said, last in the routine. Why? Another reason why I like to train legs last, if I was to train legs first, right? Say I started with heavy squats or a lot of repetitions, dumbbell squats, right? Now when I go to do that shoulder press, you know how fatigued my legs and core are gonna be? Because now when I'm doing that shoulder press, my legs are my base. If I have shaky legs, how am I gonna be able to support that overhead load, right? Your legs are strongest muscle in your body. You walk around on them all day long, right? They can handle a lot. Keeping them for the end, one, and another reason why a lot of people will go do legs first, and then they'll not want to do the rest of their workout. If you do your whole upper body workout, and you really are like into your training and really consistent with it, you guys are gonna make sure you hit your legs. You're gonna hit the whole upper body first, save the legs for last. They're still gonna be fresh. You're not gonna have done any load or anything to fatigue them. So now guys, I'm gonna show you 2 leg workouts with dumbbells. Actually, I can show you a bunch because legs, you can do so many with dumbbells. So I'll demonstrate a few for you guys. First, I'm gonna demonstrate a 2 dumbbell squat. So you guys want to keep your head always head up, chest up. Don't ever let the dumbbells take you forward. Don't let the dumbbells round you forward and make you break a line in the hips. Always maintain strong core. Everything is squeezed before I'm even starting the movement. Now guys, this is going to be similar to doing a squat, but now we're going to have both dumbbells at the side. Feet straight, guys. Keep your knees pointed straight. You guys can slightly duck your toes out if you need to, but try to keep them as straight as possible. And guys, all you're going to do, squat down to here. 1. Keeping that head up, chest up, torso up. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. So that's the first leg exercise you guys could work on. 2 dumbbell squat variation, holding the dumbbells at your side. It's gonna mimic what's called a trap bar deadlift, right? There's 2 types of deadlifts. Barbell deadlifts when you're hinging down, which is gonna be more emphasis on the posterior legs, the lower back, as well as upper body. But now when you're working stiff axle bar or trap bar deadlifts, the weight's now on the side instead of in front of you. It's not so much of a hinging movement, it's more of a squat. So you grab the bar like this, you're using way more leg drive. 1, 2. So excellent exercise. Really gonna put a lot of stress on the quads. I definitely recommend doing this 2 dumbbell squat variation, aiming for, ideally for the leg movements, I want the rep ranges to be, I don't want them to be 6 to 12. I want them to be more in that 10 to 15 rep range. Put a lot of blood into the legs, because again, when you're working with moderate loads, like your legs can handle a lot, right? So when working with moderate intensity for the legs, keep the volume high. Make the reps harder and harder as the sets go on. So that was the first variation. Second squat variation, you guys are only gonna need 1 dumbbell. This is gonna be, it's called a goblet squat. It's gonna put the load more in front of you. Same thing, guys. Always start head up, chest up. You're gonna grab the dumbbell at the top part of the weight, so most of the weight is down under you, right in the midline of your body, center of gravity, guys. And again, head up, chest up. You guys want to squat. And on this exercise, look, guys, you guys could get lower than 90. On the first exercise, you don't want to break 90. Here, you could get lower. 1, 2, 3. And look, I'm not locking out. I'm keeping full tension. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 2 squat variations. You do not have to do both of them. Choose one or the other and cycle them each leg and cycle them each workout. One day focus on the 2 dumbbell squats. The next workout focus on the goblet squats as your first movement. Now you guys can get into more unilateral work and also more posterior leg work. So next exercise I'm going to show you is going to be a lunge. You're going to need 2 dumbbells for this. Well, you can also do it with 1 dumbbell, but we're going to do it with 2 dumbbells today to show you. So remember, guys, a lunge is going to work the entire leg, hamstrings and quads. So I'm just going to demonstrate 5 reps on each leg, but again, you guys want to work 10 to 15 reps. So always start head up, chest up, and we're going to go 1 leg at a time. So 5 on the right, then 5 on the left. Lunge forward, back. Keeping that torso up. 2, you do not want this to happen. This you don't want, right? This is where you want to be. 3, 4, 5, and then switch legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that should be the second workout of the leg day. But I'll say this, if you guys want to make the squats harder, if you find that your dumbbells are still too light and leg work is easy for you, before you do the squats, do your lunges. It'll pre-exhaust and they will fatigue the legs. So when you get into your squat reps, you'll be more into fatigued and harder to perform. You grab some water. Now remember, The lunge is going to work the quads as well as the hamstrings, right? Squats are gonna work the full leg as well. But now if you guys wanna do more isolation work for the hamstrings and the glutes, we're gonna do what's called a Romanian deadlift or a stiff leg deadlift. So, you guys, watch it from the side, G. You guys wanna start always, guys, head up, chest up. For this exercise, I keep my legs no further. I don't go further than shoulder width. I keep them just about shoulder width apart, toes pointed straight, head up, chest up. There's another hinging movement. Now it's called stiff leg because we're not keeping the legs completely stiff, slight bend in the knees, and then we just hinge down. You get the weights midline, mid shin line. You come up and you squeeze through the glutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember, for the leg movements, keep it on that 10 to 15 rep range side. This exercise, I would recommend doing it every session. You guys want to make it a little harder, you guys can start doing unilaterally as well. So single limb. So if you're working the left leg, you don't even need a weight for this, so we'll demonstrate body weight first. Right leg comes off, right hand comes, tap, squeeze. More balance, more core stability. Tap, squeeze up through the glute. Switch back to the right, tap, squeeze up through the glute. You really got to focus on squeezing and contracting these muscles, because if you don't, you're not going to have that stabilization. Remember, guys, tap, squeeze up, tap, squeeze up. You guys could also do this loaded. Again, it takes a lot of focus. I'm trying to rush through it right now. Squeeze up. Squeeze up. All right, guys, so you guys seen, showed you 2 squat variations, lunges, and then stiff leg or Romanian deadlifts. Gonna target the entire leg except pretty much the calves, right? So you guys wanna train calves. After you do all that, again, we're gonna grab both dumbbells. And now, since typically our calves, and like I said, our legs can take a lot of work, you guys wanna hit high reps. I recommend, what I like to do is just going for 100 reps as fast as possible, right? So I usually do sets of 20 to 25 with very short break periods. I'll do 20, rest like 30 to 40 seconds, do another 20, or I'll do 25, rest like 30 to 40 seconds, 25, depending on how I'm feeling for the day. But keep that intensity high for the calves. And look, I don't have anything here to demonstrate, but ideally, you would go on a ledge and you would start with your toes higher. Because now if your toes are up here, you're gonna get a deeper stretch on the calf. So remember, guys, after the legs, now we can start working blood back up to the upper body and mid to the core, right? So we started with our shoulders, blood was pumped into the shoulder, do all the pressing, then the isolations. If we were to stop the workout right there and we were done for the day, blood would just start dispersing back down our body. But because we're smart and we train with gravity, as soon as we're done with our shoulders, boom, we've got that blood rush down right into our chest. And what do? We start pumping our chest muscles up, pumping more blood to the chest. Right after chest, guys, the blood's gonna start dispersing back down through the body. It's gonna hit the lower back, and now we're gonna start pumping the blood back into the back, flowing down naturally. If we were to stop working out there, blood would start flowing back to the lower body. We would walk on with our day. But because we're smart again, after our back, as blood's traveling back down, now we're gonna work through our legs. As that blood's rushing to our legs, we're pumping more and more. And that's, like I said, guys, that's why you see me drinking. That's why I'm very big. You guys will hear people say it's not needed. You don't need aminos. You don't need to take a supplement with aminos. But if you want to optimize performance or nutrient uptake to your muscles, like I said, while you're training a muscle, 70% of your total blood volume is rushing to that muscle. Blood delivers oxygen and nutrients, right? So if you're drinking all these pre-digested nutrients I have in here, aminos, glutamine, and creatine, like you guys know, sometimes carb powder, which I haven't been doing too much lately because I've been eating a lot of carbs pre-workout. All this is pre-digested. The aminos are pre-digested protein. The glutamine and creatine are pre-digested aminos, sipping them. They're going right into the bloodstream. Now, where's all that blood pumping? Into the muscles that you're training. So where's all these aminos, glutamine and creatine going? Into the muscles that we're training, right? So, like I said, we're gonna start pumping the blood back up to our body, to the midline. And how we do that, how I like to train arms. You don't see me doing you won't see me doing dumbbell core work. You guys wanna do core work for your dumbbells, do a plank and have somebody throw the dumbbell on your back, right? You don't need dumbbells to train your core. Everything we do, all these overhead movements is gonna train the core. Pull-ups, all that's gonna train the core, right? But you guys wanna do some arm work. So, the 40s might be a little tough for the curls for me to hit 6 to 12 reps, but again, guys, there's many variations of curls. You guys can do single arm curls, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, guys, so you guys can do single arm curls. You guys can do two dumbbells at a time, right? 1, 2, 6. Pretend I did another 6, right? You pick the dumbbell variation you want to do. And again, same thing, you guys could do unilateral dumbbell work. Many variations. It's called a hammer curl. You guys could just take one dumbbell and curl it in that neutral grip, which is going to work more of the brachialis and the brachioradialis. Same muscles as if you're doing neutral grip pulls. Keeping it neutral. 1, 2, 10, right? You guys could also do, I guess they're called hammer curls, right? Where you take the dumbbell and you cross the body. So, right would hit the left chest. 1, 2, 6. 1, 2, 6. You guys also, besides the biceps, you guys want to train the triceps, right? So for the arm work, listen, one exercise for bis, one exercise for tris is more than enough. All the rowing work is going to involve biceps. All the pushing, the chest, the shoulder press are going to involve triceps, right? So they're already going to get work done throughout the whole workout. And especially if you guys practice calisthenics too, you're doing your pull-ups, your dips, and your pushes, your bis and tris are not going to need all that extra work, right? I very rarely do specific arm work. But for triceps now, guys, you guys are going to do, depending on the load, these you can do pretty moderately heavy. You can do overhead tricep extensions, where you come and you hold the dumbbell right in like a diamond position, almost the way you were squatting it, right? Comes over your head like this, and you're just bending the elbow joint down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You guys could also do, if you got lighter dumbbells, you guys could do tricep kickbacks. You come up, 90-degree angle, kick them back. But 4s are a little heavy for me. Do kickbacks, typically you're gonna do it with a lighter load and hit a little more, again, on the 10 to 15 rep range volume. You don't even need weight to work your triceps in that. After you do all that work, like I said, they're gonna have blood flow in the arms still. So you can just literally stand here like this, do body weight. 1, nice and controlled, squeezing the muscle each rep. 2. You really feel the muscle working. So, full dumbbell workout for beginners. But again, don't think if you're intermediate or advanced you can't utilize dumbbells, right? You guys are intermediate or advanced, you guys can start throwing in, instead of doing overhead press every time, now you guys can start practicing handstand work on the dumbbells, right? Just more variations to get you guys mixing up that hybrid style training. You can also start doing Bulgarian split squats, which are more one leg unilateral exercises. Again, this is for beginners, but all these movements can be done intermediate and advanced. Like I said, if you want to make an exercise harder, do the isolation first and then the compound movement, because the isolation will pre-exhaust the working muscle group. Hope you guys enjoyed this routine. Big shout outs to Good Money. Look, it's a new year, guys. best times to get, listen, the present right now, start your training, right? If you haven't gotten, if you're not taking your health and fitness serious, now's the time to do it, right? Stop making excuses. Health is wealth, guys, especially everything that's going on right now. So hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, like the video, leave a comment. I always comment back. Subscribe to That's Good Money channel. Subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna put the link in the video. And for those of you who don't know, BarNatural's on YouTube, or you can search BarNaturalPrez. Same thing on Instagram. Like always, guys, peace out.
All right, thanks a lot, Prez. Links to his
BarNaturals.
YouTube and Instagram will be in the description box, man. Good looking out, Prez. More to come from the Prez.